Hello students, today I welcome you in my second lecture of advanced welding. I Dr. Apurva Anand today is going to take lecture on the advanced welding topics. The contents are welding power sources, conventional welding power sources, basic of classification of power sources, characteristics of power sources and basic characteristics of welding power sources. So, these topics today I will be discussing. Power sources are very important because welding is not possible without a power source, and understanding the basics of power sources, it is first important to know what are the power sources we are going to use. And when we will understand those power sources, then we will understand how the current and voltage is going to be controlled in such a manner, so that you can get the best output from it. And when I talk about conventional welding and when I talk about advanced welding, the change is the difference is in these two is also depending on the power sources. So, we will take the first one. What are welding power sources? One of the main requirements of a welding power source is to deliver controllable current at a voltage desired according to the demand of welding processes. Each welding processes has distinct features from other processes in the form of processes control requirements. Therefore, arc welding power sources play a very important role in successful welding. When I say in successful welding, it in terms of when you weld the part or when you weld the joints, you need to understand according to the requirement. Suppose that part is to be used in some very important important place where wear and tear is very important, where fatigue is very important, mechanical properties are very important. So, you need to understand that welding should be done from advanced methods. When that same part, suppose a part is there, you want to weld and it is to be utilized for daily purpose, then conventional welding can be used. The role of these power sources are very important in terms of the output of welding we are going to get, and as well as the productivity, because the time consumed in doing the welding is also very important. So, conventional welding power sources are welding transformers. These are nothing but AC to regulate the AC current, welding rectifiers, these are DC, welding generator, they belong to both families AC and DC, and the last one is inverter type welding power sources DC. About welding power sources, welding transformers, rectifiers and DC generators are used in the shop, while engine coupled to DC and AC generators are used at the site where domestic line supply is not available. Remember one thing, when I was taking my first lecture, I have told you that because welding is preferred over the assemblies with nut and bolt, because we can do the welding in outside environment also. Suppose you are making a tower, so there we can use this welding technique. So, how you are going to get the power source? So, this is something which is very important, where AC generators are used, or DC and AC generators coupled are used for where the domestic supply line is not. Suppose you are making a bridge at a area in something where remote area where current supply is not available, regular current supply is not available, or we cannot have that power quality at that place. It will be advisable that to take the AC generators there and the welding power sources can be attached with it, and we can work on it. Suppose you are making a railway bridge where that supply cannot go or it cannot reach. So, this type of system is needed. What are rectifiers? Rectifiers and transformers are usually preferred because of lower noise, higher efficiencies and lower maintenance as compared to generators. Where when suppose you are working in an area, a city area, you are working and there is a limitation on the noise level. So, in that case rectifiers and transformers are very important power sources, and then you can reduce the noise. The inverter type welding power source, first transformer, the AC, the AC into DC. The DC power is then fed into step down transformer to produce the desired welding voltage oblique current. The pulse of high voltage and high frequency DC is fed to the main step down transformer, and there it is transformed into low voltage and high frequency DC suitable for welding. Remember one thing, the choice of power sources are very important, as these are the power sources which will give you the type of welding you want. And it also depend when you choose the power sources, it depend where you are doing welding. If you are doing under the shades, under the workshop, you will get the power supply. If you are not doing in the workshop or the shades, you are doing some far places, then you need to understand that what type of power sources will be needed and how it has to be coupled with the welding equipments, so that you can get the best results out of it. So, choosing welding power sources is very important. I will keep in three categories when you think of choosing power sources. One, when you are choosing power sources, you have to think what type of welding you have to do. Suppose ordinary welding, you are going for suppose just fabrication work at some small places, so then you can go for a simple power sources. But if you are going, suppose you are doing welding for suppose a space industry, for a aerospace industry, then suitable welding power sources will be required, because of the advancement in the welding equipments and all, you need to have a proper control over voltage and current. And then in between these two extreme ends, there are certain areas where you can yourself decide that what type of power sources are required. Conventional welding power sources are welding transformers, welding rectifiers, welding generators, inverter type power sources. Basis of classification of power sources. Welding power sources can be classified based on different parameter related with them as under: type of current, AC and DC both, cooling medium, air, water or oil cooled, cooling system, forced or natural cooling, static characteristic, constant current, constant voltage, rising characteristics. Remember one thing friends, when you are choosing power sources, then it is important to decide that what type of welding output you are going to you are planning. Suppose I take an example of arc welding. Generally we go for AC current sources, power sources. Suppose you are doing at some remote place, DC may be applied. Also it is important that how much time you are going to spend with that power sources. When the time spent is more, then you need to ensure proper cooling methods. When cooling methods, when I say cooling methods, that means cooling medium, that is air cooling medium, water cooling medium, or oil quenched cooling medium. The whole transformer or the equipment which you are going to use must be taken care that the proper cooling medium or cooling system is there or not. Suppose you have to do welding for a very short time, then you must go for air cooling medium. It will reduce your equipment cost also. If you are going for certainly more times, is 4 to or an equal interval of time you are working, and then air or water cooling both are equally good. Oil cooling is also required when you are working for a very long hours of welding. Suppose you are making doing welding in automobile industry, that has to do from say from the morning to the evening. So, mix of air or oil cooling will be required. Cooling system, forced natural cooling, that is one thing you need to understand what do we mean by force. Force means by forceful methods we are going to cool it, and or natural cooling, we will take the oil or water going out and then reducing rejecting the heat, and then again coming, and the cycle will completes, and the cooling system will take care of the power sources equipments. Static characteristics, constant current, constant voltage, rising characteristics. You know, welding these two things, constant voltage and constant current, when we will study, when we will study in my next lectures, you will understand there is a very important role of voltage and current. Suppose the welder is making an arc with the workpiece, it depend on the voltage and current. The basic whatever you have seen during your what we called as during the welding, the arc which is generated depend on the voltage and the current. Variation in the voltage, variation in the current will definitely have a effect on the weld beds, the type of welding you are doing. You have to also choose that what type of constant voltage or constant current method you are going to use for the type of welding you are going to do. So, choosing right kind of power source is very important. Suppose you choose a wrong equipment, suppose you choose certain power source which may not be required and you pay more, then it is wastage of your capital. So, remember one thing, first decide what type of material, what type of welding processes you are going to use, and then decide the power sources required, because it is depending on that only. You cannot choose simply AC source or DC source, it will depend on your geographical location where you are doing, or should have some definite purpose for choosing that equipment. So, friends, basic classification of power source is these 5. Characteristics of power sources. Each welding power source has set of characteristics indicating the capability and quality of the power source. These characteristics help in selection of suitable welding power source for a given welding condition. Remember one thing, suitable condition, I already said that suitable condition, welding condition must be thought before purchasing or before going for the power source you choose. So, without that it is very difficult to say that the type of welding productive welding beads you are going to get or not. So, basic characteristic of welding power sources are open circuit voltage, OCV, power factor, current rating and duty cycle, class of insulation. So, I will take the last two first. Current rating and duty cycle is very important factor. Current rating means what type of how much voltage, how much current rating is to be taken for particular type of welding equipment you are taking. Class of insulation means suppose you are working for a very long time. So, what type of insulation is there? If it is not proper, then what is going to happen, that when you will, while you will be doing the welding, the insulation may cause a problem, and there will be what we called as there will be breakdowns, and it is going to hinder your productivity of welding. So, remember one thing, these two are look simple, but you have to be very particular about these two things. The open circuit voltage and power factor I will take in my next slide. Open circuit voltage. So, open circuit voltage shows the potential difference between the two terminals of power sources when there is no load. Setting up the correct open circuit voltage is important for stability of welding arc, especially when AC is used. Stability of welding will depend on the open circuit voltage, because if you are failing in this, then stability of welding is not going to come, and if stability is not going to come, then the arc between the workpiece and the electrode or the torch rather is not going to be 100% productive. And when you will do the welding, and when the weld beds will be developed, it will not of that quality, and then certainly that leads to failure of that component, or if of that weld bed. It is certainly going to be caught during the quality checks. So, remember one thing, stability of welding is very important. The selection of an optimum value of OCV, generally it is 50 to 100 volt, depends on the type of base metal, composition of electrode coating, type of welding current, and polarity and type of welding process. So, when we say open circuit voltage, it depends on many things, like the coating done on the welding torch, the type of electrode we are taking, it is consumable electrode, it is non-consumable electrode, it is the type of coating it is done on that. If the coating is suppose the simplest we see the electrode where the coating is done. So, for that particular suitable open circuit voltage has to be decided. If it is not, if you do not do that, then certainly there will be effect on the welding beads and the welding you are going to do. So, type of welding current is very important, what type of current you are going to take, and polarity and its polarity. Suppose the polarity is not taken properly, then current polarity is not taken properly, again it is going to affect our welding process. And base metal is very important. On whatever material you are going to work, what is the property of that material? When you take the material property, what type of mechanical property is to be catered when you are doing the particular type of welding, because suppose all students must have worked in the workshop, you must have done basic welding in your workshops. That material is mild steel, its name is mild steel. So, the simplest power source, the simplest current supply system you must have seen that is there in your lab, and you must have welded it. It is you must have made the joint, you must have done the filing. Filing is done to improve the when you do the welding, so that the welding must be in good quality, it must not be rusted, and also you must have done the filing and then you have gone for welding. So, it depends on the base material property also, because if the material property is not understood properly, you cannot reach to the best productive welding ever. And composition of electron, that I already have taken. So, again the second one is power factor. Power factor of a power source is defined as ratio of actual power in kilowatt used to produce rated load, which is registered on the power on the power meter, and apparent power drawn from the supply, that is kVA, during the welding. It is always desired to have high power factor. Low power factor indicates unnecessary wastage of power and less efficient utilization of power welding. So, power factor is very important. When you buy any power source equipment, you will get all the ratings and not. So, whatever rating is there, you need to get that supply from the power source, and if you fail in that, that will affect the power factor, and again it is going to affect the type of productive welding you want from that equipment. It is not going to give you the best output. So, remember one thing, I have already darkened in my PPT, that it is always desired to have high power factor. Remember one thing. So, with this properties today, these are the references which you can study to enrich your material, and these are friends. I think today I have cleared your lot of curiosity on power sources. Again I will repeat my slides so that you can be benefited what has been told to you today. So, I will again start with certain basic things. Welding power sources. So, today we have studied about welding power sources, conventional welding power sources, basis of classification of power sources, characteristics of power sources, and basic characteristics of welding power sources. So, when I started, I have already told you that why we need power sources. So, what I am trying to help you is here is to going through all the slides again, so that you can pick up better. So, again welding power sources are those things which are needed to support the welding. So, the welding is supported by these power sources, and they may be of different types, and each welding process has distinct feature from other processes in form of processes controlled required. Therefore, arc power sources play a very important role in successful welding. So, what are they? They are the conventional welding power source which are commonly used nowadays are welding transformer AC, welding rectifier DC. I have told you where the noise control is needed, you can use welding rectifiers. Welding generators AC or DC, if you are working on a remote location, then DC generators are needed for welding, and that is why we do welding, because we can work at any place. Inverter type welding power source DC. So, again in this slide I have told you that what are they. Welding transformer, rectifiers and DC generators are used in shops, while engine coupled DC and AC generators are used at sites where domestic line supply is not available. I have told you that if you are working at a place, suppose a bridge is, you have to prepare a bridge at some remote location, then you need DC and AC generators. Rectifiers and transformers are usually preferred because of lower noises. If you are working in a area where noise control noise levels are restricted, then you can use rectifiers to control those noise. And the inverter type welding power sources first transforms the AC into DC, and the DC power is then fed into a step down transformer to produce the desired welding voltage oblique current. The pulse of high voltage and high frequency DC is fed to the main step down transformer, and there it is transformed into low voltage and high frequency DC suitable for welding. So, how it is coupled, how one system support the other system, and then you get the output, that is what I have explained in this slide. So, conventional welding sources already done here. Then basis of classification of power sources are, we have studied on that, cooling medium, type of current, cooling system, and static characteristics like controlling the current and voltage, and basic characteristics of welding power sources depend on open circuit voltage, power factor, current rating, and duty cycle and class of insulation. That is what we have studied today. If you compile all this, you will find that what type of power source is right for welding should be related and then understood. Thank you very much, and I hope today's lecture will help you in understanding power sources. Thank you.